Hey, fellow babies, welcome back to Pachter Factor on sifted.net. Special thank you to our Patreon patrons, our YouTube subscribers. You're keeping us afloat. All of you, plus all of you who can't afford to pay, don't want to pay, hate everything about this show. If you're paying Amazon Prime, there's a little known perk built into Amazon Prime that will allow you to link your Twitch Prime account to your Amazon Prime account. It is a couple of clicks, super easy. Description below. Please do it. It gets us a couple of bucks a month, and you got to re-up it every couple of months. But please take a look and make sure you've linked the two accounts, because we get paid. You're doing us a solid. You are screwing Amazon. Stick it to them. You already paid them for it. So you gave them your hard-earned dough, and all we're asking you to do is ask them to give us some.
This episode of Pachter Factor is brought to you by DeShazer Ryan Realty. Right now, Doug DeShazer has beautiful lots available adjacent to Koocanusa Lake in northwest Montana. Pull up your RV and access the hookups, or build your own construction. Either way, you have access to world-class fishing, hunting, boating, swimming, biking, hiking, and the internet. No matter where you're looking to buy, make Doug DeShazer your real estate consultant at 406-291-1643. That's Doug DeShazer at 406-291-1643.
Our question today from YouTube from Rock and Roll 438. Xbox head Phil Spencer regularly goes on gaming media podcasts and uses social media to speak directly with fans. You don't see the heads of PlayStation or Nintendo doing this. Is it a good idea? Should a CEO instead focus on running the company and leave the communication to other departments? So far, it hasn't translated into success. It's a personal decision. I mean, I'm one of the few analysts who has a following on Twitter. It's up to you. It's a personality thing. Most analysts are not interesting, and so most don't have anybody who cares what they have to say. I have a giant ego, and I think you care what I have to say. I like social media just because it's fun, and I'm interacting with people that I know care what I have to say. So I honestly think that's why Phil does it. To be honest, I think Jim Ryan didn't do it because he's probably technologically illiterate. No, I mean, I don't mean like he doesn't understand how the PlayStation works. I mean, he probably doesn't get how social media works. Jim and I are about the same age, and we grew up in different circles. I just have always embraced tech, and it's fun. And I had a word processor as a lawyer before anybody on my block, and I had a cell phone before anybody on my block, and I did my own spreadsheets, and I like doing this stuff. So. And I think Phil is absolutely that guy, and Jim Ryan's not. For Akawa, it's just not a very Japanese thing to be on social media, and I'm not sure his English is great, and if he did it, he'd do it in Japan or in Japanese, but he obviously is not doing it. And if anything, I would say that's more cultural at Nintendo than anything else. Probably there is somebody to do it, and it would be disrespectful for him to take over from them. But I mean, this is like saying President Obama didn't tweet when he was in office and President Trump does. Is he more tech savvy? No, he's just more narcissistic like me, and recognizes the power of the platform and recognizes that he can directly connect with his fans and voters by doing so. I don't think Phil does it for success. I think Phil does it because I think Phil thinks it's fun. And I think he thinks that he can interact with people and makes him real. I think it's good to have a repository of all my thoughts. Like my grandkids, my kids are 24 and not married. My grandkids who aren't born yet are going to get to see everything I think in, 200 episodes. How many we got? A lot.
Oh man, way more than that.
Yeah. In 400 episodes of Pachter Factor and 400 episodes of pach-attack on Game Trailers. And this is going to outlive me by forever. I don't know if YouTube takes content down after a number of years, but one would think not, right? So, yeah, I do this just for the legacy. And I got to say, my dad died in 2007. I don't have a single video of my dad. I don't have a single recording of his voice. I remember what he sounds like. My kids don't. Their kids are never going to know. So I think it's fun. I'm really not that arrogant that I think there are generations of people who give it. There are generations of Pachters who are going to care, and again, that'll be fun to have, people go, gee, Grandpa, you used to be skinny, you used to have more hair. So and if you go back and look at old pach-attacks, you'll see I used to have more hair. But yeah, I think Phil does it for the same reason I do it. Like, it's just fun. And Phil has more followers, obviously. And Phil has to be more careful than I do, because he says stuff that, people would hear him say, what a beautiful day, and then it'd be like, oh, they laid somebody off today and Phil's evil. It's really a tough one for him, because he's a powerful guy and I am not. I'm influential, but I'm not powerful. So I hope that answers your question. I don't know that anybody does this for success. I mean, we're not streamers who have a lot of advertising get paid. Shane gets paid. I don't. I do it because it's fun. Shane capitalizes on my good nature and puts this on Sifted and hopes people will pay and watch all the other stuff. And actually, the whole Sifted formula and Patreon formula is similar to the Xbox Game Pass formula. There really aren't very many people who sign up for Sifted on Patreon just because they watch my show. They watch my show and GameFace and anything else that they can. And the more content Shane has, the more value they get out of their Patreon, patronage and their YouTube subscription. So truthfully, the more content you get, the more likely you are to subscribe, and we're fighting the same battle as Game Pass. So you'll get Call of Duty free on sifted.net, maybe someday. Just keep subscribing and wait for it in your inbox. Yeah, I would say maybe 15 years ago, I never heard a question that I didn't know already about. And here we are 15 years later, and I'd say half the questions I didn't even know. Like, Shane and I did an episode, and it was about Xbox putting Call of Duty on Game Pass, and I didn't realize they'd announced it. I knew the Wall Street Journal broke a story that they would, but then Shane goes, no, Sarah Bond said it at a conference. Like, I didn't know that. So again, I just missed the news cycle that day, and I don't prepare for these. So had I read the question ahead of time, I would have looked it up and seen if they had announced it, but I like too much work. I don't care enough. And to be fair, I don't work as hard as I used to, so I'm not as in the know. So yeah, it keeps me current. This keeps me on top of, what people are thinking. So, and I like hearing, it's interesting to me that people care about, what Phil Spencer does or says on YouTube or on Twitter. If you are a Patreon patron or a YouTube subscriber, thank you very much. You're helping us out immensely. If you are that or you're not, please try to remember to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. Reminder, you're paying Amazon already. They are keeping your money, and until you link your two accounts, they're not giving us any of it. And it's your money. You already gave it to them. Make them give it to us. So please try to remember to link your Twitch Prime account. If you haven't done it a couple of months, it's lapsed. You got to do it again. So the price of watching this show is just get up off your butt for 1 second and please link those two accounts, and Shane can get paid. You're sticking it to Amazon. You're helping Shane. Amazon hates Shane. You're going to prove to them they're wrong. You love Shane. So please do it. Thank you very much. I will see you next time.